said.
Oh, well, that's perfect. That's exactly.
Okay, that's us now live.
Oh,
Hey, we're live now. So
all right.
hey everyone,
Mine still says off air. Are we? Oh, we're live. Okay, we're good now.
are you live now?
Now we're live. Yeah, sorry.
It doesn't seem to. Oh yeah, there we go. It's now on YouTube as well. It seems to be working. So
The Atlantic Ocean's getting in the way.
it's a rather big pond.
Yeah, it is. Tad.
So everyone, this is the first Beers and Board Games / board online, board offline crossover. We all know that crossovers are pretty much the coolest things. We've had Star Trek crossovers with different series. They're basically the best things. So we've decided to do a live chat and a live crossover and show that we're just going to be, we hope to make a monthly thing and just chat about what we love. So I think without really any further ado, we're just going to go straight into it. And let's talk about some games we've played recently. So, Baker, do you want to take us off?
Sure, I guess. Well, if you want to go with the absolute most recent game I played, I actually played Love Letter for the first time ever Tuesday,
Nice.
and it was the original artwork, like the original version of the game with not the more modern artwork that everybody's familiar with, but with the original Japanese artwork, which actually is pretty cool. I didn't like it when I think I saw Nick from War Game Brawl show it the first time.
Oh, yeah.
And on the video, I didn't really like artwork, but in person, it's actually kind of cool. It's much more, I'm trying to think of the word for it, I guess, much more sparse. It's not nearly as detailed. It's just kind of a very simple art style. But the game itself is pretty cool, even though all 3 rounds that I played, I died on my first draw.
Oh, come on.
So I drew the minister twice, and both times I drew him, I had another high card in my hand, so that killed me. And then I can't remember how I died the second time around. But anyway, pretty fun game. I think if I was gonna get it though, I'd still get the Batman version, just because I'd have an easier time convincing my game groups to play it if Batman was involved. But
was it the boxed version? Was it the one in the box?
Yeah. It was it was like in a black box, I think. I mean, it was about like that big, something like that.
Yeah. Yeah, I have seen it. I think that was one of the more original ones. I'm not entirely sure though. The one I've got is the little velvet love sack for effect.
Right. Yeah.
But I got some pretty sweet additions for Love Letter, actually. I don't know if you saw my upgrades video that I did.
Yeah,
like,
you have the upgraded hearts or whatever?
Yeah. They're really, really sweet. So I mean, to be honest, Love Letter is one of my favorite games. And it was one of the games that when I was really getting back into the hobby, when I say like really getting back into the hobby, I mean like I was buying 2 games every couple of weeks at that point. And Love Letter, like I would buy like a medium game and then a small game. And Love Letter was the small game. And man, we played the heck out of that thing, like just nonstop. And to be honest, I would play it now. I would play it.
Well, yeah, I actually really want to play it again now. I have not had any interest in the game from the first time I heard about it because I don't know. The theme completely turned me off to the game, but it's actually a good bit of fun because it only takes like five minutes to play around.
Yeah, and obviously you got you could have the Hobbit version, or Batman version, or what other versions are there?
Of the billion other versions that are out there. Yeah.
Yeah, and the like I was just saying about crossovers, the ultimate crossover, I guess, of Love Letter Munchkin.
Yeah, is that one out yet?
Yeah, Loot Letter.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah, great play on words.
Yeah, yeah. Why did they change the name for Munchkin? They give Munchkin Loot Letter. They're like, oh, Munchkin Love Letter doesn't make any sense. But then for Batman, they leave it as Love Letter.
And not like crime fighter.
Yeah, or wham letter or something. I don't know, something.
Bam letter.
Yeah. You just have the like from the old 1960s TV show have bam. I don't know.
Just something. Yeah, I know that it sort of takes the theme away a little bit from it there. So
By the way, anybody that's wondering if I start rambling, let's keep in mind that Georgie's had like a 5-hour head start on me as far as being awake, because he's over in Scotland, not on the East Coast of the United States, so it's 5:22 for me, and I woke up 45 minutes ago. So
it is 10:22 for me, but I just think Baker's getting his excuses in early, to be honest. So
yeah, I gotta make sure people, you got to get them in early. That way you can keep reinforcing them throughout the year.
All right. Well, so you mentioned Love Letter. Was that the game group that you were at, Baker?
Yeah, well, it's not my normal game group. It's I had to go, I guess you call it a business trip. I had to go to Summerville, South Carolina, which is like a 2-hour drive from here. I had to go take a boat over there to get repaired, and then I had to wait for it to get done and then bring it back. So while I was waiting, I started looking up game stores in the area and ended up finding one called the Green Dragon in North Charleston, which is about 20 minutes away from where I was.
That's a nice name for a game store.
Yeah, it's actually a really cool game store too. I was I had no idea that was there, so I go in there and basically crashed this game group. I was like, "Hey, mind if I sit in and play a little while?" And I thought I was going to be there for like 2.5 hours. Ended up being there for about 20 minutes because I guess the repairs didn't take nearly as long as expected. But yeah, so that's where that was. One game I do want to mention is this one right here, Winds of Fortune. Can you see it? It's kind of underneath Thunderstone there. That's actually a prototype I have right there, and it's incredibly fun. It's my wife is usually real. It takes some convincing for her to like a game. Like it has to be a pretty good game for her to really enjoy it. I'm probably a little easier as far as to impress with games, but we played that one. And again, it's the prototype, but we played that one and she loved it. And it's up on Kickstarter right now. It has like 3 days left. It's close to funding. It's not quite there yet. But
I think I saw your preview of that.
Yeah,
looks pretty good. Actually, we were talking about Undead Vikings vlog, a Google Hangout thing that he does, the album or whatever it's called, which I seem to be strangely addicted to. The guy who does the Undead Vikings, the one that we were just talking about, who does this hangout.
Yeah. Sorry, you broke up. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. I'm sure the designer, I forget his name, but the designer of that game was actually on one of those, and he seemed like a really cool. Yeah, he seemed like a really cool guy. And I instantly went onto the Kickstarter page and was looking at it, and I'm still really tempted by it. It's on my sort of hit list to just go for.
Because it's EU friendly, so is what he likes to say. Which I don't think you're technically part of the EU.
Oh yes, I am.
Wait, Scotland's part of the EU?
Yeah, man.
I thought. Is England not?
England is also.
But they kept the pound.
We did.
So you're like halfway in. You're like, we are our economic strength, but we're also keeping our pound because the euro sucks.
Yeah, pretty much. And we're one of the few to actually be like, okay, well, yeah, we'll let you off with that because we know you'll contribute probably. Yeah, it's I don't know.
Okay.
It's kind of the EU thing's a bit touchy considering most of Europe seems to be in debt at the moment, I guess.
Yeah.
When I say most of Europe, I guess it'd be most of the world nowadays, right? But...
that's the truth. Well, not to delve into politics, but the point is he'll ship it to Europe. Is the point I'm trying to make.
Yes, he will. And the good pun there with shipping it to Europe, because I believe it's about boats and sort of is it pirates, but just sort of attacking each other, lining up and.
Yeah, well, it's basically the idea is that during like the golden age of sailing, back in normal human history, Everything progresses normally up to that point, and then like a meteor hits the Earth and covers the world in water, basically, for the most part. And the nations with the strongest navies are the ones that kind of survive the best, but none of them survive unchanged. And so all these factions pop up. And the two
Hold on. You made Waterworld the game?
Kinda, except this is cool.
Whoa!
Yeah. Because
Sorry,
the difference is I think Waterworld was actually a global warming thing. This is just the meteor hits, and so not only do you have now the entire world basically has to have navies, but all these monsters have woken up from the depths, which kind of elicits a Cthulhu feel, but the monsters are clearly not Cthulhu monsters. They're, it's not Cthulhu. It's all these other things that are just really cool monsters. But
it's like the Kraken.
So, right, there's a Kraken in there, I think, actually. Well, hold on. Let me just pull the game down. Hold on.
Let's have a look at the game. I watched, like I said, I watched the reviews for this game and checked out the Kickstarter, but I just want to see it again.
All right, let's see what we got going on here. And so the game comes with these two factions. You can kind of see some of the artwork. I think it's the final cover for the game is what that ended up being. So you see this big baddie right there.
It has got really nice artwork.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited about the artwork. So you got one faction called the Cult of the Reef, which is this group that believes, if I remember correctly from the story in the book, this group that believes the original meteor that hit was some sort of, kind of God sent it, basically, is the idea, or they're gods or whatever. And so now they're waiting on the second cataclysm to finish the job type thing, and they kind of welcome it.
Okay. It's like some sort of rapture.
Yeah, type thing. And so you got ships like this, the Viper Fish, which you can see this is real unfinished artwork here, but the idea is it's got kind of some animal tendencies to it. Because I guess the Cult of the Reef grows a lot of the ships from the reef. The Hammerhead is actually a ship, not a creature. Let me see if I can find some creatures in here. Cousin to the dire wolf is the dire whale, which I guess is even bigger than a normal whale.
Yeah.
Let me find one of the really cool. Where are you? Yeah. So this one's obviously one of the ones that probably has a little bit of a Cthulhu feel to it, but this guy right here, Horror from Beyond.
Okay.
Never a good day if you're fishing and that starts to happen. But yeah, so you get the idea, and so there's a spatial aspect to it because there's tactical card placement. There's a little bit of Summoner Wars feel in terms of you're moving your cards around the board, and the board's this 3x6 grid, I guess. But you really only have access to 3x3 of it because you're firing cannons and stuff back and forth.
Yeah.
And the main purpose is to destroy the flagship, which each flagship has 3 cards that make it up, kind of like that. Oh, I got them backwards. Hold on.
Oh, I got you. Yeah, to make the ship.
Like that. There you go. See, so it makes the flagship, and then and each of them has a special ability at the bottom there. And when one part's destroyed, it turns over. You lose that ability. But anyway, it's a cool game. I really enjoyed it a lot, and I'm excited. I'm hoping I do not. I kind of made a rule for myself that I don't back Kickstarters at all as far as games go, just because I don't have two things. I don't have the money or the patience to wait for a game to show up after I've spent money on it, which is a little bit paradoxical because we're going to get into pre-orders a little bit later.
Yes.
But I really want. Yeah, I'm really excited. I really hope this one funds. It's getting close, so it's still got a few days, so we'll see.
Yeah. No, that's really good. So you've been playing a lot of that one. Is there anything else you've been playing recently, or?
I've played King of Tokyo with the kid a good bit, and Spectre Ops I played at my game group the other night. But other than that, I did get to try out Epic Spell Wars, whatever the name is, because the
Oh, the Mountain of Doom, or yeah, I think I know what you're.
That
The
So I played a couple rounds of that too, which is an interesting game. I do not think it would be something that I could. I wouldn't buy it and couldn't. It's not like I don't feel like it's a game that you can play repeatedly and feel like you're continuing to get more and more out of it. It's kind of. It feels very random, and I think it basically has only a certain amount of depth you can go with it, and then you kind of run out pretty fast. And it's a lot of fun because it's so ridiculous. But it won't hold your attention if you're looking for something with a little more depth and strategery, as one of our great presidents once said.
Well, what have I been?
What about you?
Well, I was just thinking actually. What was the last thing I played? Which I don't think that was Love Letter either. No, it wasn't. And the last thing I played was Small World. We had a game night around one of my friends Colin's house. He threw one, so it was me, the Buse brothers as I call them, which is just two of our friends, and the host Colin. Me and Colin were there first. We played. Oh, what did we play? Star Realms.
Always good.
Yeah, we had an awesome time playing that. Again, it was really back and forth. Yeah, but Star Realms always seems to have that feel to it. You always feel like it gets really close. Somebody either gains health and then somebody's hammering you down, and then in the last hit, I think I hit him for something like 18, and it just totally wiped out everything that he had. But
yeah, when you start getting towards that end game and people started throwing 20-point hits at each other, it's pretty close to the end at that point.
It's intense. And to be honest, I am going to try, because I read on Board Game Geek, somebody said, try playing Star Realms with 100 authority each, and waiting to see the size of the decks that you start hitting with. I was like, you know what, that sounds awesome. So I think actually I'll speak to Cole about that, and maybe we can hit
Epic Star Realms.
Yes, that needs to be a thing. To be honest, if it's not, it should be. I should double check on that. Yeah, so we have Star Realms. What else did we hit? Because we played the Warhammer 40K Conquest.
Yeah, Conquest. I've been to try that one out.
So yeah, we have that. So that's the one with the planets lined up in the middle. And
how would you think of that one?
It is a very strange mechanic in regards to. It seems like almost it's like a bidding mechanic to start with. So like you are placing your cards down, one, like whoever has the first player token goes first. So you place your card down, and then somebody else will place the card down at another planet, and you're placing your cards down at the planet to receive the resources and the cards that planet generates. So sort of mining it. But the only way to battle for a planet and actually win the planet, because the aim of the game is the first one with the three. Well, it's three of the same colored symbol, which is in the top left-hand corner of the cards. But in order to win one of the planets, it has to be the first planet in the sort of trade row, I guess, or planetary alignment system. But when you actually battle for it, the battling seems a bit strange. Like I hit that guy, you hit my guy, because all the cards are already out, so there's not really any surprise card hits or anything like that. And
oh, okay. So once you put your cards down, so you can tell. I mean, you can tell before the battle begins who's going to win, really.
Yeah, unless there's some sort of special ability that one of you forgets about, because there can sometimes be like 3 or 4 cards there, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh, okay, yeah, wait, my guy can do this. But yeah, I mean, it's.
But I just mean there's no like instant effect that you can add to the battle. It's all on the board already.
Yeah, and there's stuff that you can have in your HQ, which you can like tap, or maybe I shouldn't say that, should I? Not tap.
I don't think Wizards of the Coast will come after us.
So you can exhaust. That's what I was looking for. So you can exhaust the card, and that might do something sort of mid-fight, like maybe give you an extra couple of points, or like hit points here, or let the guy hit for harder. And there's some attachments that you can attach to the guys, but again, you need to do that in your deployment phase when you're spending your resources. So there is some cards that are a bit But I don't know.
Now,
But overall, something, I liked it, and I don't like 40K stuff. I don't like Games Workshop
really?
stuff in general.
Well,
No.
the Games Workshop is. I agree. They kind of feel like I don't know, money grubbing company sometimes.
Yeah,
Um,
but I mean, this was
my
Fantasy
my.
Flight, so
Oh, that's right. I guess Fantasy Flight puts out the because they're the ones that did Forbidden Stars as well, which I really want to give a shot. I've not had
yeah.
a chance to play that.
I imagine that my friend Colin will get that soon enough with his addiction to what seems to be anything Warhammer or 40K.
Does he play the miniatures?
He's played miniatures before, but I think he's now playing this, or he wants to play desperately this Flames of War miniature
What's
game.
that? Wait, what's that?
I have
I mean, I don't keep up with miniatures games, so I don't know.
No, I'm not. I mean, it seems pretty cool. There's like little tanks and like little groups of soldiers and stuff. It seems more World War orientated than any fantasy orientated. And he's really into like his tanks and things as well. So
yeah.
He's loving it. He's loving doing the painting and stuff. And you know what? I love seeing people enjoy stuff. Anyway, so it's great to see him doing that. So he'll probably end up getting one of those. I think he wanted to get that Relic game, but after watching that review that was released, was it yesterday I think it was yesterday on the Dice Tower by that guy Andre Noms. I forget his last name.
Yeah, Andre. I don't even try his last name, but I know who you're talking about.
But
he does pretty good reviews. I like him.
Yeah, I like him too. And he was like, this game is just too much. He's just basically said there's way too much luck based on this game. You can either you roll the dice and you either go left or right. That's your only decision. Then you draw a card and can you do it or can you not? End of somebody else's turn. And he said it goes on for hours. So
the game lasts for hours?
Yeah.
That's all luck? That's a little long for. Sorry, I'm just looking it up on BGG here.
It's all right.
Oh, that's from 2013. Okay, it's not even.
Yeah. I think it's like a remake of Talisman, or it's definitely taken from the Talisman mechanic anyway.
Well, it's listed at $60, but it's selling on Amazon at $20 right now, so that should give you an idea.
But I've not heard great things about it.
Yeah, well, I'll stay away from that then. Well, going back to Conquest real quick, you were talking about laying the cards down on the planets. That reminds me a little bit of Smash Up. Does it have any sort of?
Yes, it very much does.
Really? So they should make Warhammer 40K a faction in Smash Up.
Well, I mean, what's cool about it is the fact that you do get to pick your own factions, and I'm not totally clued up with all the 40K guys, but I know there's Eldar and Dark Eldar and Chaos.
They all have kind of correlations to your regular fantasy world.
Yeah, I mean, I played as the
year in college. So.
All right, okay.
Oh.
So I mean, I've never played the miniature. I mean, I think I played the miniature game like once or twice with my cousins. But I think I told you about that before. But they took it way too seriously, and I hit one of the characters with the dice, and I ended up getting thrown out. And it just got
right. Because you don't accidentally hit miniatures with dice. It's not acceptable behavior for a grown up.
Yeah, well, I might say grown up, but I was like 30 years old, I guess, when that happened.
You're old enough to know better, George. Old enough to know better.
But they were heated. They were tense. Their testosterone was going through the roof.
How old were they? Same
age. So I was just like, I'm going to go out and play on a skateboard or something.
So how old are you now?
27.
27. You're a young child. Okay.
Whoa. How old are you anyway?
I'm 32, dude. I'm like.
Oh, okay. So you're an old man. So that's.
Yeah, past that barrier, man. I'm an old dude now. This is not. I'll tell you this: when you go, like if you're going to the doctor or whatever, and you're filling out this paperwork to begin with, normally they ask you what your date of birth is, which is fine because that never changes. You write the same thing every time, but it never feels different. But the first time you go somewhere after you've turned 30, the first time you go somewhere and they ask you to rate your age instead of your date of birth, and you rate that 3. Man, I'm telling you, it hurts. It hurt the first time I wrote that 3. Like, oh man, that's it. I mean,
There's no going
over.
back.
There's no going back. Life's life's done at that point. You just kind of give up. No, I'm just joking. Okay, so you played Conquest. What?
Yeah. So yeah, I actually love the game, really, to be honest. But
I really want to give that one a try.
I would recommend giving it a try. The Warlord thing's cool, and I played as the Orcs, and as always, the artwork's cool, and the fantasy aspect of the 40k style's cool as well. So we played that. What else did we play? I'm sure we got another 2-player game in. Oh, we played Red 7 because he hadn't played it, and you know my feelings about it. So.
Right. That's one I want to give a shot, just because so many people came away from one of the cons last year all excited about it because I guess Rodney Smith started pushing it real hard at the con. I mean, not like pushing it, but he wanted to play it all the time, and so everybody thought that he was like sponsoring it or whatever. Yeah, and he's like, no, I just like the game a lot. I just want to. I think it was Red 7. There were 2 games that came out at the same time.
Yeah, that was definitely the one. I'm sure I seen him.
Okay. Yeah.
But I could see why it's so. Like when I played it with Colin, I mean, he is like a war gamer or a miniature gamer. That's like his main deal. But he also plays like a lot of card games and pretty much anything else I put in front of him or he buys as well. He does buy a lot of games. He's got like Arkham Horror. He's got a lot of board games as well. But he's well into his war board games and miniature games. So when I showed him Red 7, he was like, "That's quite thinky." Like I really. He got the strategy of it, and he was understanding why it was popular and things as well, which was great. So
it seems to offer a lot of strategy for those that want to look that deep, and then if you don't want to look that deep, you can still play it and enjoy it. I mean, is what it looks like from what I've seen.
Yeah, and there's the playing with the rules and there's those alternative rules which make it that thinky strategic game, sort of like for real. Say for real gamers, that's a bit like I don't know the best way to say it, but like for people who like a more strategic card game or game like that. And then there is just the standard game where you basically can't draw any cards and you just play the cards that you've got in your hand until whoever can't go wins. And it brings it back to more like a kid's game, I would say, with the colors and numbers. And it just offers a real variety of. It offers itself to a real variety of people, I would say.
Yeah.
So we played that, and then arrived the Buse Brothers. So I would like to just add at this point that I won every game until that point. Not that I'm boasting, but the first 3 games we played, he thought he was going to win Star Realms. He didn't. And then he obviously thought he was going to win. Well, I don't think he thought he was going to win Red 7, but I won that too. But again, because I'm more used to playing that, I think he would eventually beat me at that. I think because he's very good at those sort of things. But then arrived the other 2, and we played Ticket to Ride Europe, which was awesome. I really, really enjoyed playing it. And what was the one we played after?
Small World. Was that your first time playing it?
That was my first time playing Ticket to Ride Europe, yeah. It was my first time playing any of the Ticket to Rides because none of my games...
I was going to say, I was feeling bad because I've also never played Ticket to Ride. I feel like I'm the only board gamer in the world that hasn't played Ticket to Ride. So.
No, I would say...
And now that you have played it, I guess I am now.
Not at all. Not at all. I know people that haven't played it, so I wouldn't worry too much about that. But it's so fast. You would not believe it, dude. So you're just drawing cards. I want these cards. And then by the time you look at the cards in your hand, you've decided what you want. It's your turn again. You're like, okay, so I want to buy this. And then it's just so fast paced. Like I don't think I've ever played a game that's like that. That's so fast paced. And I really understand why people rate it so highly. It's quite, you get blocked by other players, and then you have absolutely no way of doing certain tasks that you have, which means you're going to lose points in the long run by these like ticket cards that you have. It's really great. And yeah, the other one we played was Small World, which we've
Small World's awesome. I love that.
Yeah. You've got Small World, have you?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
That was actually the first designer style board game that I ever got. So.
Okay. But yeah, so that's the games that I've played recently, and then I played Dice Masters with my new awesome dice bags that I got.
Yeah, those are really cool.
Sweet. I actually have my first one right here.
Yeah, so look at that. Somebody sent him some Beers and board games swag right there. I'm a little bit jealous.
It's
I guess I don't really have a good logo for that type of thing though.
but you can simply get one. I think the hat really. It's like we're twins.
I'm a big fan. Are those the same numbers that are on your guy?
They are, yeah.
Yeah, actually, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. So,
well, is there any relevance to those numbers, by the way? Why'd you choose those numbers?
Absolutely none at all. Just it was just the artwork that one of my good friends provided for me because
I bet there's some relevance on there for him. Then he's like got your logo sending some kind of signal to an underground network of
he might because he's very
agents.
He's an artist, so you never know with these underlying themes and stuff that they come out with.
Yeah, wasn't the French Revolution all artists and everything or something? I don't know.
Yeah,
I
think
I'm making up my world history now.
That's all right. Never mind. So I mean that's basically all the games. And yeah, I played that. Did I just say I used the dice bags to play Dice Masters, the Justice League Dice Masters? So yeah, that's the games I've been playing recently, and I hope to get maybe a couple of games in. And I forgot to say, Elder Sign. I played that when I got that as well.
I have not played that game yet. That one and Eldritch Horror, the two Cthulhu games, I haven't played that I really want to.
Yeah, man. I would love to play any of the horrors because I haven't played Arkham Horror or Eldritch Horror yet. But Colin's got Arkham Horror, but we're going to arrange because apparently it can take a little while to play.
Quite a while. Yeah, it could take quite a while from what I've heard. I haven't played that one. I lost my interest to play that one when Eldritch Horror came out because everybody said, Eldritch Horror kind of takes the idea of Arkham Horror and streamlines it.
Yeah,
it's still
I heard
a pretty
that
lengthy game, but a lot less fiddly. Of course, Arkham Horror now also has, I guess, all the expansions can be used at the same time from what I've heard. And so if somebody insists on doing that, then you basically have like an 8 foot by 8 foot table that's completely covered in, you got like a war room table covered in Arkham Horror stuff because that's how much room it takes up. But,
with a 0.05% chance of actually winning the game.
Right.
Because I was actually, when I was talking to someone about who was reading the inside of the Arkham Horror expansion boxes, and they basically just said, use what you want in the box, and we recommend you don't use it all.
Right.
Basically
right.
What it was doing. So, but yeah, so yeah, I played Elder Sign, and the reason for that was because I got it. It was my first, which I like to call my first historic thrift find. And I'm going to mark the date on the calendar actually once we're finished on this.
Wait, it's Elder Sign that you found?
Yeah.
Right, because you said you found it for like £3 or something, right?
Yeah, it was £2.59. So I don't know what that is.
For those watching, of course, is about $30 American.
I wish it was that, I guess, but
that's a really good find, though. That's pretty impressive.
And to open the box and then discover that the Unseen Forces expansion was in there, and it was just like, are you kidding me?
I know that part.
Yeah, man. It was just like, this is unbelievable.
For, right?
Yeah, man. So me and the wife played that, and it was solid. I think we would have done it. We had 3 Elder Signs left to get, but it got really late and we had to pack it up. But we had a fun time playing it, and the whole dice rolling aspect, as usual, was fun. But there's one aspect of that expansion that I didn't like, and it was this cursed blessed thing, which you add this cursed or blessed dice. The blessed is fine because you get an extra dice, but the cursed one just kills a dice every time you roll. It's not fun. It takes a bit of the fun out of it for me. But yeah. So that's about it. So I think we've kind of went through all the games we've played, and probably knowing me and talking for ages about the games that we've played. So
I think on our next one we're gonna have to get a little better at containing our segments. We're gonna have to give ourselves time limits or something. Anyway,
yeah, I would agree because we don't want to bore people to death with the way that we talk about stuff. So.
I'm sure people are thoroughly enthralled in everything so far. Can you even tell if anybody's watching right now? I don't have anything on my side that lets me know.
I can't. I think I can. Yeah, it says there's one person watching right now. So
really, that's interesting. Well, hello, one person.
Yeah, it's what's interesting is the fact that it's so early here, so everyone should be at work here, and everyone should be at bed in their bed where you are. So I have no idea who is watching this.
So Cthulhu is watching.
Yeah, probably. But yeah, the other things that, well, I mean, actually, let's just go straight on to another topic that I want to talk about, which was have you seen it? Have you seen anything apart from a particular pre-order that you might have placed, Mister? I don't like waiting for games. Have you seen anything that you fancied? So, Gen Con not recently, well, recently just passed.
Well, other than the pre-order that you just mentioned, which we'll get into in a little bit, which is Pandemic Legacy, that I'm completely stoked about. Blood Rage is the one that really I want to get my hands on soon. Well, I mean, I say soon. It'll be a little while before I get my hands on it, but that one looks incredible. I mean, but the miniatures are just ridiculous, and it's obviously a game that could have been made without miniatures, but the miniatures are insane. I don't know if you saw the video where Eric Lang was basically playing hacky sack with his miniatures. I mean, he was like tossing them in the air and throwing them around the room and stuff, and they won't break. And I mean, they're big too, and they don't break. So Blood Rage looks incredible though, because I guess it's I don't even know. I have a hard time explaining the game when I haven't gotten my hands on it yet. But it looks like basically you're kind of building these armies, but then as your guys die, I think you still get some benefit anyway from them being killed, and then you can recruit these monsters that I think each monster, if I remember correctly, is unique on its own. So once you have kind of like with Kemet, where once you have that monster, nobody else has that monster.
Yeah, because it's like unique, because it's like heroic to die in battle and stuff. I think is the idea. So you gain victory points and
you gain victory points for winning the battle, but then you also gain victory points for your guys getting dying valiantly in battle.
Yeah, it seems to be more like is it area control game as well?
Yeah, that seems like what it is, because it's definitely not like a miniatures game, because it seems like that the battles themselves are a little bit abstracted.
Looks fun. That's one of the games that I really want when it comes out. I'm super gutted that I didn't back it on Kickstarter, to be honest. But it looked like the game at the time and everyone was saying it, that it's just miniatures on top of another game. But now that it's actually out and people are raving about it, I really want to play it and try it. So
I think Origins was where people started realizing, this game actually has a good rule set behind it, and it actually is gonna be something.
It's got the legs to do the distance, is what I think a lot of people are saying about it. So what about you? The games, anything that I've seen recently, not so much, I guess. Keeping my options for, I don't know, Flick 'em Up. I really want to get my hands.
Looks cool. Yeah.
I would really like to get my hands on that. Seems like a really fun party game, and I've got the hardwood table to play it on as well, which everyone says is way better than playing on felt tables and things. So
I'm so bad with games, man. I hear a name that sounds dumb, and I don't even want to look at the game. Like I try to be very, very open-minded with people in my life, but when it comes to games, it's man, I judge it by its cover and name in a
horse blinders.
Yeah, I know, right? And so I ignored Flick 'em Up forever until finally I heard so many people say this game was awesome. I took a look at a review, and it actually does look really cool. So I agree with you there. That one is a good one to be looking at.
I guess like Tides of Time from Portal Games as well.
Yeah, that one. Who's the designer for that? That's is that Bruno Cathala?
No, I think that one is. Let me have a look. Is it?
Who can get to it first?
With the laptop.
Tides of Time.
Christian Kurla.
Oh, Wow,
is the
I
designer.
was way off on that.
But
Maybe. Oh no, I'm sorry. I'm thinking Portal Games, which is run by whatever. I'm showing my ignorance now.
but no, that's the card game
Is it
actually.
Ignacy that always that works for Portal? Ignacy. There's one guy that is from Europe that always speaks for Portal. That's why I got okay. Anyway,
Oh, you're
all
thinking
Europeans
of
are the same as what I just said. Sorry about that.
I know who you're talking about now. You're thinking of
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. He's like a real tall guy, kind of
he's from Poland.
lanky, and really knows his. Is always talking about cool games.
He's the guy who designed. Is he not the guy who designed Rattle Battle?
Yes.
No, it's not Rattle. Is it Rat?
I think it is. Or no, Rattle Battle's from Portal. So you probably saw him talking about that too.
Oh, maybe it did.
Hold on.
Rattle Battle, grab the loot. I think that's the Ignacy.
Ignacy Trevicek.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's
what
the
I'm
guy.
trying to talk about.
Yeah, that's who you're thinking of.
He was talking about Tides of Time, and I guess I just mistakenly thought that he was the designer for it, which I guess he's not.
No, but he seems like a really cool guy as well. I've spoke to him on Twitter a few times, and he's seems like a real family guy and a real sort of gentleman. And it just seems like his games seem really fun too. So yeah, I think and Rattle Battle Grab the Loot was one of the other ones I was going to say anyway, because I really like the idea of rolling all those dice into the box and what dice can attack the other dice. Sort of supposed to be ships attacking each other. Seems pretty cool.
Yeah, that one looks interesting, and the main issue I've heard with it is that it is pretty much 100% luck, and it lasts for 45 minutes to an hour. But I still want to give it a shot because just aesthetically it looks really cool, and a lot of people seem to really like it a lot. So I don't know. I would give it a shot eventually whenever somebody at one of my board game groups brings it or something maybe.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I think it's the whole dice mechanic that I really like, and the building your ship thing looks kind of cool. Mm-hmm. But I know what you mean. If some games can overstay their welcome if they're very luck based and they're about an hour long, so I don't know. We'll see how it goes. So I guess that's it for me for games that I'm kind of been looking at just now. I guess this upcoming month, there's going to be a lot more games that actually come out. I think there was quite a lot of releases last week, so maybe next time we do a live video, I will be slightly more excited about games that have been released and games that I'm going to order.
Yeah.
But so speaking of games that we've ordered, do you want this?
Yeah, well, okay. So here's my thing with pre-orders. Back when I was a video gamer, I pre-order all the time just so I can make sure that it got to my house immediately. Before the whole digital download thing started happening.
Yeah, man.
And I never thought I'd do that with board games because I figured there's always, if one board game's coming out, there's always something else that I can get to tide me over till that one comes out. And then I pre-ordered Dead of Winter through a local game store, and like 4 months after the game came out, I still didn't have the game, so I canceled that pre-order and went and found it somewhere else, and swore I'd never pre-order a game again. And then I started reading up on Pandemic Legacy, and Quiche Games, which is out of Canada, actually had it for $36 American dollars. Plus $10 American dollar shipping, so $46 for a game that's listed at $70. I was like, I can't pass that up. So I went ahead and pre-ordered it through them. So now here I am sitting waiting for that game to show up. Now I'm hoping that Z-Man is going to do better than Plaid Hat was able to. And it's not Plaid Hat's fault; they're a tiny company. Yeah. Z-Man has been around for a while, and they have something like 56,000 pre-orders already. So they know what's about to happen.
Yeah.
So hopefully they're prepared. And supposedly the game's finished now. At this point, they're just building their stock, or their the games they have stocked up so they can get them all out at the same time. Anyway, Pandemic Legacy. If anybody isn't familiar with it, I'm sure everybody's familiar with Pandemic. I would hope at this point because that's kind of a staple.
Is that one of your favorite games? Did you rate that as one of
Pandemic,
your-
it was my number 2 most played game of the past year. Yeah, I like Pandemic a lot.
Yeah.
And so you got Pandemic, and then you have Rob Davio. I hope is how you pronounce his last name. I hope I'm not butchering that. But he created he created a legacy system that was used in Risk Legacy. So Matt Leacock and Rob are working together to create Pandemic Legacy, and basically the idea is that every game you play, the game itself changes permanently. For instance, if one of the big things that I've seen is in the cities, let's say that New York has an outbreak, well then the population is going to remember that. And if a second outbreak happens, then negative effects start happening, like rioting, where you no longer can take flights into the city. You have to only drive in. So you can't discard a card to get there. You have to just walk in from the neighboring city and stuff like that. The roles, scientists, research, all this kind of stuff are no longer just roles. They're actually characters that get scarred if certain things happen. They can gain extra abilities. They have, I don't know what this means, but they can have relationships with other characters in the game that can either help or hurt them. And they can actually die permanently as well, where you can't use them anymore. So,
like RPG crossed Pandemic crossed Risk Legacy.
Yeah, so it's looking pretty awesome. It comes out at Essen, and I'm hoping that I get mine shortly thereafter. Quiche Games was saying that generally speaking, they get their games about 2 weeks after, especially if it's a major release like this, about 2 weeks after the actual release date, which is about what I expected anyway. So we will see.
So after promising never to get a pre-order game, here you are with a pre-order game.
I guess I shouldn't make those same promises. They'll always be something that I'm super thrilled about. So
I do not pre-order games because if a game's going to be
you back Kickstarters.
I back Kickstarters. That's what I do. The reason I back Kickstarters is because, the problem with Kickstarter at the moment as well is, and me and Tom spoke about this on our board game banter months and months ago, and I still feel the same way, even though it seems to be happening a bit more. Big companies using Kickstarter to get cash off the little man before
that annoys me.
Yeah, before it's even released, and I just kind of think to myself, like, cool money or not, like, they do it, and I see why they do it, because the amount of extra miniatures you get and extra things that you get with it to unlock all that, and to get it all for the same price as we're going to pay for it when it comes out, because me and you both want it anyway, and it both sounds awesome, expansions or not.
Yeah.
And we're never going to be able to get those expansions. We're never going to get that stuff. So that's okay, I guess. I kind of like that, but there's a lot of companies that do it, and then all the expansions that come up, they have 1 or 2 Kickstarter exclusives, but then they sell the expansions after anyway. So I don't know. It's just something that kind of frustrates me around it. But as far as the small indie people go,
why don't you give a shout out whoever that was that made those bags for you?
That was a lovely lady called Denise, or Denise S, as she was called on Kickstarter. She's currently just has an eBay page. She doesn't have, or she's just setting an eBay page up today. And if you search on eBay for rollover dice bags, that's how you're going to be able to find them. I don't think you're going to be able to find them yet, because she's not set up yet. But if you contact her personally, she can make you personal ones. I was so shocked when this came, because I did not expect this one. I expected a reusable fabric ones, and she sent me one of these and one of these fancy like fabric ones with big thick ropes and sort of dragons on the end to give it weight, and it's reversible with sort of felt on the other side to make it black. So she sent me some really, really nice bags, and obviously that personalized one as well. So really, really nice lady, great communication. It was her first Kickstarter that she's ever done. I would highly recommend, if she does another one, that anyone backs her stuff. And just it's been a pleasure to to get these dice bags, and using them for Dice Masters was super fun because those Dice Master bags are horrendous.
The first time I saw those on a review, I first thing I thought was that looks like the bag that they give you to throw up in on an airplane.
Well, yeah, that's a good way of putting it. For me, I was like, this looks like, I don't even know what it looked like to me. A bag, like if you go to a sweet shop and you buy a bag of sweets, it kind of reminded me of that. Like, can I get a couple of pound mix, please? And you would get it. And you want a red bag if you're a girl and a blue bag if you're a boy, I guess. But
okay, sure.
That's just, yeah, I don't know. Maybe that's me just looking a bit too much into it. But those bags frustrate me. So yeah, that's. I mean, for pre-orders, I don't pre-order stuff. I back Kickstarters. Will I ever pre-order something?
We'll see. Hopefully,
probably not.
Hopefully, I never do it again. But and I'll be honest, this one probably had more to do with the fact that I found it for $46 total, which is, saving me, $24.
Yeah.
A whole other game right there, you know what I mean? So that probably, I don't think I would have reordered it if all I could find was the full $70 price tag. So it was more because it was such a good deal.
Yeah, I get why you've done it, man. I would probably, if I really, really wanted a game and it was that much of a price drop, if I pre-ordered it and you were... Yeah, I would have done it. Yeah, who wouldn't, I guess? Why would I even say I don't pre-order games? Maybe that's me just doing exactly what you did after Dead of Winter.
Yeah. Watch out, they'll get you.
So I think that's really all that I had, sort of topics-wise or interesting things there that I really wanted to chat about. Did you have anything else you wanted to chat about today, Baker?
No, I think that's a pretty good run for the first time. We're right at about 45 minutes or so now, I think. Somewhere.
Yeah. Well, I think that's we've had a pretty good run, and I hope people who watch this enjoy it and put up with our bad. I don't know the way to put it. Our bad attempt at a first. Is this a video cast?
Maybe it might. This might count it. We might be vlogging right now and not even realize it. I don't know what.
Well, we never know. We're not the most.
What I do know is that I got to figure out how to get a cool banner under my name like you've got, because that is annoying me that I don't have that. And no matter, I wonder if it's because I'm on the iPad, and it's nothing's working.
It's because it's Apple.
Somebody email me. Oh, well, that's a good point. So where can everybody find you if they don't know?
They can find me on YouTube. If you search for Beers and Board Games, you'll see my reviews and now this video cast and another segment which we haven't been able to get some done for a while called Board Game Banter, but that's because Tom has been working a lot, so we'll get some of those done.
Tom needs to get his priorities together.
Well, yeah, I've been telling him the same thing. And then when he comes over, we just play so many games that we're like, oh, we really should have did a Board Game Banter. Like, yeah, we really should have. Like, well, we'll do it next time. And then he comes over and we just start railing games again. So you can get me there, Beers and Board Games on YouTube or at Beards and Boards on Twitter. What about you? Where can people find your lovely videos, Baker?
Well, I'm on YouTube at Board Online, Board Offline. That's BORED online, because see, you don't like doing it anymore. You need something else to do. So you do Board Offline, BOARD. And on Twitter at Board Offline, BOARD Offline.
Nice.
This would be easier if I had a banner under my face.
I knew you were just about to say that as well. I actually knew that was coming. I was like, he's going to mention that banner again, isn't he?
Yeah.
There we go.
Well, whoa! No, I'm not trying to get you to get rid of yours. I don't feel better when.
No, it's over. The banner is done.
Next time, if I can't figure out how to get my banner, you can put my info on a banner with an arrow at the end of it pointing to wherever my picture is on your screen.
Yeah, I can quickly just change it, right? It just be like, there you go. Done.
Yeah, that could work.
Oh, well, guys, thanks for watching. This has been fun.
Yeah, thanks, everybody. Or to our one fan.
I look forward to doing it again. and just having this same sort of banter again, Baker. So thanks for watching,
Yeah, it was a
everyone.
good time.
Catch you guys later.
See you.